I have evidence showing that he had the feigned blindness. Oh goodness, I'm such a jerk. Hey guys, welcome back to another to I believe the last part of the first trial of Turnabout Serenade. Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see, which means no, it couldn't be.
Good show, her forehead. It seems you thought of something.
Grr, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to take my clues from this guy. Very well, look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see. And this right here, this is why we need the postcard. That is Lamirar and Machi Tobai. Recall the relationship, in particular their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamirar and her pianist, they would always walk together. She leading him by hand. Even when they got on the stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go. All times, Yet we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by hand at all. That can only mean one thing. Really? Really? It's all the other way. It was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by hand was Lamirar. What? What's this? So you mean to say that Lamirar she's? Yes, Your Honor. Lamirar is blind. What? Yes, folks. Anyways, turn around now. We found out that Lamirar is freaking blind. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin.
Is it now?
Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim.
The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead.
You know what, Prosecutor Gavin? You know what?
Yet I see it is not vast in vain, this time. He's quite correct.
But that makes no sense. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something?
Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamirar herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room.
Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me, I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Maybe we're not screwed after all. Bailiff, bring in Lamirar. Here we go again. She's back in the thing with her pretty eyes that she probably can't see.
Lamirar, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way. And yet I must.
Please, do not be concerned about on my behalf. Those eyes. She really can't see. Really? It is true. The deuce? How funny is it that a tiny lie born in the Borgian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world? So, you are? Yes, as I mentioned before. I have no memory of the time before I became Lamirar. Know that my memory is beginning darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamirar. I see.
You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, her forehead.
What's that?
I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses.
Ah.
Now, Lamirar, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes?
Of course. It was never in my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. Yeah, I would say this much. When this was brought to light, when I played this game, I was really shocked to find out that she was blind. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew it. Before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. That last one bothers me a little bit, but this is a murder trial. I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music was everything for me. I never imagined something like this would...
She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing.
Very well. Does the defense have anything to add? I like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There is one thing in her testimony that bothered me.
Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself.
Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay, there's only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Okay, let's press this one little piece of testimony and we'll let her go. It's her last bit of testimony, actually. The part about her, pretty much the people on staff knowing that she was blind. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Lighthouse? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew. That's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes?
Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was... As we're seeing the same scene again over and over again. I'm gonna talk over these because there's really no point, like I said. Well, like I said, I was really surprised to find out that she was blind. I was kind of shocked about how all this tied in. And it actually ties in really well. This case is very, very convoluted in that sense. And this is pretty much the last present day case. Well, this is the last case we stay within present day. You'll know what I mean when we get to case 4. I'm just letting you know, like, case 4 is really, really convoluted. Mr. Lighthouse told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know.
What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself.
Meaning what?
There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more.
The witness, Siren. We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense.
I remember them well myself, but that statement is not what I refer. I mean what he said before that.
Before? What came before that? Ah!
That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness!
I see.
Too bad the defense did not. Well, her forehead? Try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time.
So he was trying to tell us that Lamior couldn't see, but he wanted us to ask her. Order, order.
Recall Amirar's earlier testimony.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that.
That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Lysius witnessed her through the window. Why else would he have named her as a witness?
Ah. But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots, and the man's voice.
Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course.
But it was so clear. If I heard that verse again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor, what is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in a session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation?
Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Letus left us.
Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Chrysanthemum, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing.
Quick work as always, Darian.
Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX 3142066666. The agent registered under this number was Romain Lataus.
What?
Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Lataus himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Lataus was an undercover Interpol agent? So him being Lamioir's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found.
Well, out with it.
It concerns the .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently it belonged to Romain Lataus. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched.
So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver.
So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. It's got to tie in somehow, you think? Yes, somehow. Thanks for looking into that, Detective. For us, Detective Chrysanthemum. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Hold it! Wait! Lamioir, is something the matter? That voice just now.
Darian?
Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him.
You aren't saying...
That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Lataus, when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian.
Is this some kind of a joke?
What? No way. The courtroom fell in such a chaotic state. The trial had been suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamioir, fingering. I'm not even gonna sit there and say what's wrong with that. Darian Kristen, not only is he the guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lamioir heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure if I could keep up with them. Hey, no whipping out, Apollo. Guess we'll figure out more what's going on here in the next part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. See you guys then.